Hi, it's Michelle Last here. Thanks for joining me. You can find my blog inspiration at www.michellelast.co.uk. But today I want to share with you a little trick and a technique for getting this border around the die cuts and the framelits. Now you may think that it's a die cut gold piece, but it's not. It's actually part of the card, so it's not an extra layer. So I'm going to show you how we created that. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to use the magnetic platform, and I've got the cutting plate on top of it, and just to make our lives a little bit easier I'm going to position my cardstock on here, and my die, I don't know if you can hear that, but it sort of snaps onto it. It'll hold it in place for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bit of rough paper, just a normal printing paper is what I would normally use, and I'm going to put it up the other, the cut side up. You know it's the cut side, it's got a little raised edge. And I'm going to use my Versamark today, which is a pigment ink, and it's very tacky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press it down on my stamp, on my die cut, and I'm going to just cover the whole back of it, or the cut side of it, with Versamark. Now I have tried this with the other inks, I've tried this with the Stampin' Up die inks, and they don't want to stick to metal. So you find you get a bit of a mottled effect. So this was the best technique, was using it with Versamark. Then what you're going to do is you're going to pick up your die and try not to actually touch where the Versamark is, and position it onto your cardstock where you want it to be. Now you can't move it around because you're going to be depositing Versamark on your cardstock. Now what you're going to do is you're going to bring your Big Shot over. I just pick this up and move my Big Shot in place. I'm going to put that down and put my other plate on top of the die. Sorry, I appreciate you can't see this, but you will in a second. I'm going to run my die through the Big Shot. And actually I'm going to do it a couple of times because I want to get a really nice strong press down of my finished die. Not for the cut line, but I want to squish all that Versamark onto the cardstock. So I'm just going to remove that. Then what will happen is I can then lift the die cut shape off the cardstock, and I should leave an outline of Versamark around the outside of the card. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to very quickly heat emboss. So I'm going to sprinkle my, this is Stampin' Up's Melon Mumbo embossing powder. So I just thought we'll give it a tone, pink on pink. Now I'm going to give it a little flick on the back. And I also keep a paintbrush nearby. This is a little tip to rub away any of the excess powder, because this will heat set once you get your gun on it. Your heat tool on it, I should say, not your gun. And I'm just going to put a little bit more on there because I just flicked a little bit too much off. So I'm just going to get rid of the excess, and I'm just really happy that I've got a nice coverage of powder. Okay, I'm going to move this to one side and get my heat tool. Now a little tip when you're heat embossing, what quite a lot of people do is they turn their heat gun on and go straight down to the cardstock. Now it does take a little while for your heat tool to get hot at the end, so I would recommend you turn it on for about 20 seconds before you point it at your project. The reason for that is that you're not going to be scorching the paper before you actually start to heat set the powder. So now what I'm going to do, my heat tool's struggling to reach, so I'm going to move my project to my heat tool, and I'm going to start heat setting it, and you'll see it change into the Melon Mumbo edge. I don't know if you can see, but it's a slightly different colour. Just going round. You can also see when you hold it up to the light or a light, you can see it go from matte to shiny. I'm being a bit impatient and actually holding my heat tool a little bit too close, if I'm honest. But okay, so turn my heat tool off, and then now you've got a really nice finished edge to your die cut shape, which means you can now add some pattern paper. You can add you can have it opening out onto a card and add a sentiment, and I'm just going to show you one that I've finished. So this is one that I've created that I showed you at the front of the video. So there's your nice, I did gold embossing edge on there so that it reveals the inside of the card with the smile sentiment, and I use the Stampin jig to get the smile in place. So I hope that's a cool little tip. It's such a great technique when you're using framelit dies in shapes that don't have a nesting pattern or shape. And what I mean by that is, let me find you what I mean. So if you were to do this in the circles or the ovals, you have a nesting pattern that will cut the same shape slightly larger. So you could actually cut a strip by laying an oval inside an oval. But when you have a little framelit die, and you may not recognise this die, and I'm going to show you why, I don't have nesting ones of these. This is it, a standalone die. It means that I can then create a border with this and not have to hand cut around it. Now these are the new thin-lit dies, which are launched today, and they are a fantastic range of new dies that are designed to create the cards that move and what's the actual words they've put on here? So move and flip. So I'm going to post this card on my blog, but just to show you the cards that are going to move and flip. So in this set of dies, it's a really fantastic, really versatile set of dies. They cost $29.95 and are available from my online shop. You get the thinlet, which will enable you to create the card base for making your cards that flip and move, like this, okay? But you also get loads of other dies which have got some sentiments in. That says yay, that says THX for thanks, some arrows, XOXO, and then there's another set that has a whole host of other shapes, and also a hi and an I love you, and the flags and the arrows. So please get in touch if you'd like to place an order. I'd love to hear from you, or you're very welcome to visit my online shop by going to my blog at www.michellelast.co.uk and clicking on my online shop button. So thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the little technique, and I hope you give it a try. Alright, thanks a lot. Bye bye.